Now to South Africa, where leaders of the ANC have met to discuss how it will work with its rivals after last month's election failed to produce an outright winner.
As the ANC, with its 40% return of votes, cannot really set up government without cooperating with others. We will not preclude the possibility of working with any party so long as it is in the public interest and it is in keeping with the principles that they have articulated.
OK, let's get more on this evolving story then, bringing Bloomberg's Jennifer Zabasajja on the ground for us in Joburg. Jen, ultimately then, top-line question, what kind of coalition is South Africa looking at right now?
Right, Tom, you know, as one of our reporters put it earlier today, the ANC has really put the ball back in the opposition party's court because they have said, and we just heard from President Ramaphosa there, they are committed to working with any of the parties that are committed to shared values, nation building, and also social cohesion. The question is, though, what are those parties? And this honestly ultimately gets the ANC potentially away from having to form a coalition, an exclusive coalition, potentially polarizing voters. The question, though, is which parties will come on board. We've heard from some of the parties saying, and namely the DA, we heard them earlier this week saying they would not work with the left-leaning parties like the EFF and the MK. So the question now is who is going to ultimately come together and how are they going to form a government?
What have we been hearing from Jacob Zuma, former president, of course, whose own party, relatively new, caused such a kind of ripple effect, such a shock in this election?
Right. It was the wild card of this election, Tom.
Yeah.
Listen, we did hear from the ANC saying that they have tried to engage with the MK party because, of course, as you just saw on this graphic, it is now the third biggest party here in South Africa, but they haven't been able to get much response yet. And the people who they have spoken to say that they're waiting for some direction from former President Jacob Zuma. But we did hear from the MK party posting on X that the expectation is that there will be engagements with the ANC soon, but their priority is to prioritize the inspirations and aspirations of the South African majority and blacks in particular. So the question now will be, what will those engagements look like? What sort of demands potentially will the MK party be asking for? And again, you know, the ANC has said pretty clearly that one of the MK's top demands, having Cyril Ramaphosa resign, is not something that they are going to consider. So it's going to be very interesting to see really how these develop going forward.